As I told, what the program states is it is develop a menu-driven program to fill the polygon using simple scanline algorithm. Menu-driven in the sense. So, can someone tell? We have done already one program related to menu-driven. So, can someone tell what is menu-driven? No idea. Menu-driven. What does it mean? In one of the program, didn't we see if you right click on the output screen, you got some list, right? So that kind of programs are actually called as menu driven, where on a click you will get a menu with the help of which you can perform different operations, that is specified operations on that particular output screen. So this is the program. You should develop a menu driven program which consists of some menus with the help of which you are filling the polygon using scanline algorithm. So we'll see in detail how this program works, how the flow of the program goes. So this is the sample I am showing. This is one of the polygon with some dimensions given specified. Check out. I am passing some scan lines on it. I can see there are some intersection, right? With respect to four vertices with respect to this particular polygon. Then I'm filling those scan line areas where this polygon is meeting each and every condition of that particular scan line. What was the first step? I have drawn a polygon with some dimensions. Suppose 300, 200, 100, 200, 200, 300, so on. Then I'll start performing scan lines on that particular polygon. Then I'll see where and all are the intersection points of that particular polygon with respect to scan line, and then fill those particular areas. Okay. Then check out for this first scan line. For the first scan line towards the object, this is the intersection point. I can draw this scan line here, so I'll fill one area there. Then the second part, check out the second part. I have filled that particular part, that is nothing but in red color. Simultaneously, with respect to the intersection point as well as the scan line area which is passing through that particular polygon, I am filling that particular region. Then we'll start as the program starts. We have some libraries such as GLUT, then preprocessor directives, studio math. That is something that some of the libraries I have defined while starting the program. Then I have used some variables called LE, flag as well as M, where I have assigned some values for each and every variables. But it is of type integer. A flag, I can say flag is nothing but a temporary variable for assigning something. So I'm using flag here in the program. So first, as each and every program starts with the main function, I will start with the main, which consists of two arguments. One is argument count as well as argument vector. What happens in this particular main program with respect to this program is it basically initializes GLUT, the display mode, and main window where registers are being called, which enters the main event loop. The throughout main program has been explained in a single line. Then once the main program start, I will start initializing the OpenGlut internal data structures and process that particular command line argument so that I will control that particular window position. Then I will start initializing the GLUT library, that is GLUT init. Initialization is done with respect to arguments, which is argument count as well as argument vectors. Then I will set a window position for that particular pixel of the object. GLUT init window position. The position of the window is specified as 100 and 100. That is x, position x is at 100 and position y is also at 100. This basically tells you the location of x as well as y in terms of pixels. Then I'll create a window. I'll create a new window, that is, I'll name the window as scanline, where I'm creating a window. Check out the syntax here. Create window cat star name. Here, basically, name is a ASCII character string which we use for a window name. So it's basically tells you are specifying a ASCII character for that particular window name. So we'll be using glut create window to specify the window name as scanline. Then I will call init function, which is basically linked to main function. I am calling this init function from the main function, not from any other function which I have specified. What happens in this init function is it basically sets some global variables, global in the sense which are out of the function, such as clear color. See here, one example is given, clear color and drawing color, and sets up the desired projection as well as model view matrices. What happens in this particular init function is first we'll set the variables, that is nothing but the global variables which are outside the function, and then it will specify some functionalities such as clear color, which is used to set the background color, as well as other functions such as to specify the projection, type of model, and then so on. Once you go to this particular init function, I have specified the init function here, void init, with the help of which you are setting up a two-dimensional weaving region. What kind of weaving region? It is nothing but orthographic weaving region, whose parameters are specified here: x1, y1, x2, y2. Once the init function is called, we'll move on. What happens in this function is explained in the next slide, that is GLU ortho 2D. What happens here is these are the parameters which is being given, that is nothing but left part of that particular orthographic weaving is given as 0. The right part is given as 500, that is, it is set to 500, and the top part is specified for 500. What happens is it will basically create a projection matrix by mapping these parameters, that is nothing but 0, 500, 0, 500. What is 0? What happens if you provide 0 here? It creates a left border of the viewport. That is nothing but if I take this as your left part, this as your right part, this is the upper part, and this is the down part. Here the left part of that particular viewport is being created. That is nothing but inside the window. This is the left part. It is being created here. That is nothing but you are giving 0. So the left border of the viewport remains 0 there. Then I have given 500 towards right. The viewport is created with respect to 500. Bottom is 0 and 500 for the top. The top part is being created. So this is the representation. This is the video screen. This is the output, that is the display window. This is the screen which is visible to you on the output screen with respect to different axes. So this is how GLU Ortho 2D works with respect to different angles, or I can say different positions of that particular window. Then once I perform initialization, that is init function, I will call the display function in the main program. So what does this display function does is it basically tells the library glut whenever the main window needs to be repainted, it should call the callback function, which is nothing but display. So we'll check what happens in the display function. If this display function is called, that is glut display function of display, I will define void display here, where basically the color, dimension, and so on of that particular window or the object which you want to shade will be defined here in the display function. It tells the specification of the object which you want to fill onto the output screen. First, I will set the clear color, that is nothing but the background color is set to that particular color, and then I'll clear the buffer bit by specifying GL clear, GL color buffer bit. Then I'll specify the object's color, that is nothing but whatever the display you want to set with respect to blue color, RGB. Then I'll start with the loop, that is type of vertices is line loop. If you are specifying a triangle or a square as your polygon, it should be in a loop format. So you should specify GL begin, GL line loop. Then I'll define the vertices of that particular object with respect to GL vertex 2F, which is of floating point value 100, 200, so on. All the four vertices have been defined here. Then I will end the begin. As I have begun the line loop here, I should end that particular line loop. Then I will take an loop there, that is for I is equals to 0, I is less than 500, I plus plus. Whatever the left part of that particular area which you want to specify in the display function, it should start with 0 and it should end with 500. This is if this is so, if this is the case, then it will be assigned to 500 and the second position will be assigned to 0. And after this, the edge are being defined where you want to fill the color there in that particular polygon. All the four edges with respect to those parameters have been defined here. Then I will check for the condition if flag is equals to 1. What is flag? Flag is previously I have assigned to 0. If that particular flag, that is the temporary variable, if it is equated to 1, what happens? Again, same, I will check if I is equals for I is equals to 0, so and so. Then I'll check the condition if the left part is lesser than the right part. Again, I will use a for loop so that I'll check if the left part is assigned to the different variable j. If it is so, I will again color that particular area with respect to this color, that is RGB. I'll color the polygon into red, that is R here. So I will end the for loops here, for and if loops correctly, and then I will use flush where all whole program is called again and again, or I can say it is being revoked here. So once the display function is done, we'll check out what are some of the functionalities, important functionalities in the display functions. This was the whole display function which we studied, which is used in the program, and simultaneously we have different terminologies in that particular display function. We'll check out what are those terminologies which is to be used in this particular display function. So once this is done, we'll check out void display. What does GL clear color do? It basically sets the background color to white. As all the values parameters are set to 1, the white color is being set there for the background. What does GL clear does? It basically sets the area, that is the plane area of the window, to the previously selected by GL clear color. It will basically set some area of that particular window where the white color is being set to the background. Then what does GL color buffer bit does? It basically tells the buffer is enabled for writing. That is, you can change anything in the buffer. Then there is something called as GL color 3F here. Check out where is this? This as well as this GL color 3F. What happens? It as color 3F takes 3 arguments, that is RGB. After you use this particular function GL color 3F, whatever you want to draw will be in that particular color. That is nothing but as specified, it will be in the blue color. Once this is done, we will draw a polygon with respect to this. Let's check out in the display function. This is an line-to-line explanation. As I told you here, I'm just again repeating the same thing here. I'll draw a polygon using this kind of primitive. The first vertices of that particular polygon is 200, 100. That is the bottom part. This part will be drawn here. If this is executed, it will be drawn here. 2 points are drawn. From this point, I should draw this, that is 200, 300. From this point is drawn. From this to this is drawn, and you will get a polygon which is of type line loop. Check out here, line loop. It should be in a loop format. So I'll draw a polygon with the help of these terminologies. Then what happens? As I told, there are some terminologies with the help of which you want to specify the color and draw that particular with respect to that polygon. So I should start with edges. As I told, LE as well as RE are the left edge as well as right edge of that particular object. What happens here is first I will set an index which is nothing but I to 0. If I will check if I is lesser than 500, I'll start incrementing. If this is the case, this should be left edge should be equal to 500, right edge should be equated to 0. Check out the table of that simultaneously, left edge, right edge. I will check it as 1 equals to 0 to so on 499, that is nothing but 500. the left edge will be equated to 0. If this stage is being completed, that is 499, this will be 0 here. So this is the table representation of that particular object, which is also represented as canvas here. Then after you get that particular index with respect to left edge as well as right edge, I will obtain the right edge as well as left edge of the polygon by taking some sides here. With respect to each and every edges, I am defining the edges of that particular polygon. Now I want to define edge. How to define edge with respect to this functionality is, first, I will check out void edge. I'm defining a function to draw an edge with some parameters x0, y0, x1, y1. That is nothing but 2 points with respect to which I'm drawing a line. This is the first part you should do here. Then I will check if y1, that is the first, is lesser than y0. The second part is lesser than initial part. I will define variable temp is equals to y1 is equals to y0. I will store the value of y0 into y1, and then finally I'll give y0 as temp. Similarly, with respect to x, I will do temp is equals to x1 is equals to x0, where x0 value is being defined in x1, and then x0 will be defined with temp. The x1 value is stored in x0 here. Then I will define a variable x whose value is x0, and I will calculate the slope with respect to that particular what I can say points y1, y0, x1, x0. Then I will again put a for loop so that I will check that particular x. This x is lesser than left edge of I. If it is so, it will be equated to the x value will be given to LU of 1. If x is greater than RU of 1, RU of 1 will be equated to 0. Then I'll calculate the x value by giving the slope, that is 1 by m. So this is the calculations done, manual calculations done with respect to this particular left edge as well as right edge with respect to some slope. The slope we got here is -1. So related to that slope, I'll be calculating the values of x and y. So once the edge is done, I will check out if flag is equals to 1. If so and so, if I will start performing the function where the index will be equated to 0, again the same condition is checked. Now check out the if here. I am just comparing the left edge is lesser than right edge. If that is the case, I will define another variable called j. I will equate that particular left edge to that particular variable, and if I will check if j is lesser than right edge, and then I will start coloring that particular polygon. So this is a format of your output where the polygon is being filled with some color. Then I'll close all the loops, and then I'll flush drawing command buffer to make drawing happen as soon as possible. If the command prompt or the control finds this command glflush, it tells the program to start drawing the object of related specifications. So now your output is being drawn onto the screen. Now I want to display a menu onto the screen, right? As the question says, you should start draw a polygon, fill that particular polygon with the help of algorithm, and then you should start printing a menu onto the output screen. So let's see how does that happen. First, I'll create a top level menu which basically uses callback functions with respect to it. That is nothing but glut create menu. That is, the menu will be of scan menu. Once this parameter is being passed to the function, it will go directly to the scan menu function. Then in scan menu, as we know, we have some IDs, that is a number of IDs can be used. If the ID is equals to 1, the flag will be equal to 1. If the flag is equated to 1, what happens? Check out, we saw the condition, right? If the flag is equated to 1, well, this all repeats again. Then else it will check if ID is equals to 2, the flag will be equated to 0, else it will come out of the particular loop and gives post redisplay. That is nothing but this function will be repeated of n number of times till you get the menu onto the output screen. Then I'll use glut add menu entry. That is nothing but these are the 3 menus which should be listed into your output screen. Once you right click onto the output screen, The first option for that particular entry should be scan line. The second of entry of that menu will be clear, and the third will be exit. It is nothing but, if you check out the here output screen here, if I click scan fill, what happens? It should fill the particular polygon with color. Then if I click this clear, the whole object should be colored. That is nothing but the colored object will be cleared to plain. That is, a simple object is being displayed here. Then if I press exit, that is nothing but the third option, the whole control comes out of the output screen, and then the control comes out of the program. Check out in glut post do display what happens here. Basically, the whole code, whatever the menu, will be redisplayed again, so that for the next iteration, once the glut main loop function is being called, the display callback function will be called for n number of times, so that the Windows normal plane is being executed with the help of this output screen. Then once you are performed all the menu, now you have set the menu here. Now you need to click on this particular menus, right? If you want to click on the particular menus, I should attach a mouse button option with respect to that. I am using mouse button option. For attaching that particular option, I'll be using glut right button of a particular mouse, which basically tells you are creating a button of mouse button option. That is, you are specifying the program to create a mouse button with the help of which the menu can be listed there. Then I'll put the glut main loop, where whole program is being processed for a number of times, which is being kept into loop, and then I'll come out of the program. Then check out the output of your program. So once this is found, it basically tells your program is kept in the loop format, and you are coming out of the program. This states the end of the program there. Check out the output. Once you give GCC, hope you have not forgotten the commands I have told you for compiling and checking out the output. So this is the output of your program. Then once you get right click on this particular output screen which you have got, you'll get three basic options, that is scan fill, clear, as well as exit. If you give scan fill, this will be created. If you give clear, check out this, that is an empty output is being given. Just a polygon is being displayed here with respect to blue. As we specify the color of an object should be blue, it is being specified in the blue format. If I click exit, the whole screen, the output screen is being exited. That is, you will get a normal pane of your particular output. Is this clear to all? Is the program clear to everybody? Check out, the program looks simpler. You need to just draw a polygon, color the polygon, clear the polygon, and just exit from the screen. But check out the terminologies. You need to remember so many things, right? Inside part. Yeah. So that was all about